upbeat person, you're watching True Heel Heat.
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the wrath. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some wrath in the show. So let me know.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble episode 224, Fire and Blood, reviewing last night's November 12th, 2025, Blood and Guts edition of AEW Dynamite, as only we can. And of course, to do that every single Thursday, I am joined by the man of 59,500 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms and reviews of AEW and Tony Khan, the one and only Jimmy Macram. How you doing, Jimmy? I think you're muted, or your mic's not on. Either way.
There we go.
There he is.
I'm good. I think we'll see how the show goes. Make no promises. I hope you're all doing good.
You had to think about it. Like,
No.
good. Oh, yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You could share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section. If you're watching us on demand, give us your thoughts on AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts 2025. And if you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on last night's big special events, big show for AEW. Let us know what you thought. You're the good, the bad, the indifferent, what you liked, what you didn't like. Let us know. Just don't be a dick. And of course, we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. Jimmy's favorite person in the chat is here today, Zach Minger, letting us know that it is World Kindness and National Gratitude Month, SP3 and Jimmy. Since it is World Kindness Day and National Gratitude Month, I want to let Jimmy know how grateful I am for him to be my co-host for the show and how grateful I am for his friendship over the last 2 decades. And the reason why I'm saying all of this to Jimmy is because I know that is the worst possible thing I could say to him. It's probably worse than me calling him like a bitch or a buzzy. Like, me being nice to him is the worst thing I could possibly do. And I love you, Jimmy.
Likewise.
Not saying any of that. I'll just say likewise. For God's sake. It's ATHH, fam. Last night's show was indeed bloody great. And both husband Roddy's and wife Shafir's teams won.
Most uncharismatic fucking family that ever exist. Good Lord. Oh, fuck. Say gratitude. Kindness and gratitude.
National Gratitude Month. What are you doing? You only had 18 more days.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it.
Power Driver says, love this intro. Sup, y'all? Good to see you, Power Driver, in the chat. He says, World Kindness Day equals No Offense Day. Yes. No disrespect. No disrespect. Alexander Fitzgerald is joining us today. He says, laughing emoji, I'm surprised Flair didn't show up during the FTR segment. Maybe he was given 3 minutes to cut a promo. The little Nixon Newell Miranda Alizé joke in there, but it was reported last night, I believe. PW Insider, Wrestling Observer both confirmed this, that Ric Flair left the show early because he's been in a lot of pain. He suffered a torn rotator cuff injury. So that's why he left the show early. He was supposed to be a part of the FTR segment.
Let me tell you something. Ric Flair's been through all kinds of shit. Much of it self-induced. He's also got a tremendous pain threshold. And even beyond that, he's got a tremendous threshold when it comes to getting himself in front of a camera, in front of fans, and into a wrestling ring. So I can't even imagine the kind of pain he was in to make Ric Flair go home. Good Lord, you poor bastard. Might be at the end. God damn it.
I hate, like, when I heard he was in a lot of pain, I thought that too. I was happy that it was just a torn rotator cuff injury, but you are absolutely right. This man has been through the ringer since 1975. So, yeah.
Everybody goes. God, apparently. Holy shit.
Christopher says, woman's blood and guts, I love. We got Ace who says, what's up, my brothers, in chat with the too sweet emoji or rock and roll emoji. We got Power Driver Finisher who says, likewise is a proper response. There you go. He defends you. And we got Good Doer who has given us the mantle of Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, calling us the world's greatest tag team. SP3 and Jimmy, what up, fellas? Thank you, Good Doer. Appreciate you, good sir.
Thank you, brother.
Well, yes, before we get into last night's show, as per usual on AEWramble, we might as well get through the rundown of everything else that you would probably have on your mind at this point, since we brought it up due to Alexander Fitzgerald's joke in the chat. What was your thoughts on the entire drama that went down over the weekend with Nixon Noel and Miranda Alizé deciding to walk out of AEW Collision in their second appearance? Before their second matchup with the company, it would have been their third appearance for AEW, believing that 3 minutes wasn't enough and that nobody would benefit from that. So they basically gave it up, and they were told that they could go home. So they think that there's no issue between them and AEW, but the reports say otherwise, that AEW were shocked by their handling of the situation, and even friends on the roster were quite surprised and said that they could have handled the situation entirely better. So what was your thoughts on everything involving Alizé and Noel?
I'm always team wrestler, always. Team Austin, Team Punk, Team MJF, Team Mercedes, Team Naomi. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happened. I don't care if they kill the baby. I'm always gonna be on their side. But as big of a fan as I am of bridge burning, unlike Jim Ross, who's a fan of cross burning. I'm kidding, JR. I'm going to need you to defend yourself at some point.
Holy shit! He just said JR is a Klans member.
As big of a fan as I am of bridge burning, I do think you should make sure that you don't need to cross that bridge again at any point in time. And considering you're both fucking 12 years old, I think it's a bit risky to cross that fucking bridge. Now, do I agree with them generally in principle that 3 minutes is not going to help anybody? I don't think they really care. It's not going to help anybody. They care. It's not going to help them in particular. Yeah, I agree. But it's not really your call. I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. Either you stay and hope, or you burn the bridge. It makes no difference to me. Feel free. I wouldn't have done this move. It's a bit premature. This was match 5. I might burn the bridge. This is match 2. Give it a little bit at least. And wait a little while before I decide to walk the fuck out. Jesus.
And then I didn't even bring up the whole issues that they had in their first match. Apparently sandbagging Megan Bayne, and Megan Bayne still bodied them, and being upset that Megan Bayne did not sell for them enough. And Megan Bayne was reportedly very frustrated with how the match went down.
I can see that. Oh, awesome. Then I would have walked out night 1. You pissed on Megan Bayne. Fuck that. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, yo, that like the audacity to have issues in your first match and then expect that people are going to listen to you, that you want more time on your second. I honestly, the first report was from PW Insider, and it was like Miranda Alizé and Nixon Noel did not want to lose on Collision, so they left early. I was more on their side when that was the original report, because I was like, yo, that's because that's gangsta. To not have a contract and say that doesn't work for me, brother, that is stupid beyond belief, but it's also gangsta as hell. It's like what? Like I gotta respect it. I gotta respect that gangsta. I gotta respect that a little bit more. The more and more information that came out, it made me less sympathetic to them and less on their side, especially after their comments, their little Twitch stream that they did, and I was just like, I don't really have the sympathy that I originally had. Like, I was hearing the reports from PW Insider and Fightful. I was like, let's wait and see what they have to say. Let's hear their side of the story before we pass judgment on this situation. And then I heard their side of the story, and I was like, damn. I was hoping I would have more sympathy and that I could ride this fence and be right on the middle of it.
I brought up a top 10 list of most disliked wrestlers on it. And there were the usual suspects: Young Bucks, CM Punk, Chris Jericho, Mercedes, Charlotte. Tegan Knox was on that fucking list. We were all very confused.
Yeah.
People know more than we do, apparently. Holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, I guess. Oh, right. That's what I wanted to say. I don't care whose side you're on. Homegirl, fucking Taya Valkyrie makes me fucking sick to my fucking stomach. I hate her fucking guts. Holy shit, I hate this motherfucker's guts. You fucking corporate kiss. Oh my God, you bury these two bums. I hope she slept with your man, and that's why you hear the guts. Otherwise, there's no excuse for that fucking tweet. There's no excuse for that tweet. There's no excuse for that fucking tweet. You are not important enough to fucking send out that fucking tweet. You got, if Toni Storm sent that tweet, I might still be sick, but at least I go, you know what? Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But Taya Valkyrie, are you fucking serious? We're all a family here, and it's an honor and a privilege to fucking be in Ring of Honor. Shut the fuck up. Sit down somewhere. Good Lord. Oh, I hate her guts. Oh.
Jesus.
Goddamn.
She put out a tweet basically saying that it's this is the business that we're in, and it's about maximizing your time in front of the crowd, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 minute, 10 minutes, you're supposed to make the most and make the show for the fans.
Chat GPT ass cliched filled nonsense. Shut the fuck up. I hate her guts. Holy shit. Just had to say something. Who are you? Who are you to tell me anything? We in the same spot. I'm 30 or 40. You don't get the fuck out of my face. Beat it. Good Lord. I hate her guts. Holy shit.
Well, goddamn. Goddamn. You relax, sir. Relax.
Took his ball and he went home. Shut the fuck up. Who are you? Not Steve Austin.
Relax. Jesus Christ, sir. All right.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Fitz has got it almost right. Still bench players acting like starters. He's talking about Noah Nixon and them. Bench players judging bench players. What the fuck are you? Are you serious? Are you if you don't get away from me? Good Lord.
Hey, I did like the fact that I did think it was telling that it was all the either enhancement talent or previous enhancement talent that were putting out tweets. I thought that was very telling.
More people have things to say? You can't just leave it at that. I need to know this.
But the others were a lot more funnier with it, and a little bit more subtle, and not like Talia. Talia was the most like upfront, and it was a full like 2 paragraphs long. So, like I think Kyle Fletcher was probably the best of them because he's actually one that was an enhancement talent that's actually a star and getting a push. So, but he's like, I didn't sign up for this, but I'm happy where I'm at.
Fair enough. Nobody asked your opinion, but at least you're a star.
No one asked for your opinion, but at least you're a star. I'll allow it. But yes. Is there anything from the world of WWE that you wanted to mention? John Cena winning the Grand Slam this week. The setup for the men's War Games, the setup for the women's War Games. One was better than the other to me, but what did you think about all of that?
I think nothing about it. I told you already. I'm over this. I'm not doing this with John. I'm not doing this again.
I thought that was. I literally told the people on Rated Raw Review your response to me telling you updates from Raw.
Oh yeah, I was fucking hysterical.
Well, we need. This is now week 3. We've done 3 straight weeks. Week 1 was me getting your reaction to the booking of Braun Breaker. Mind you, I've already ranted about that this week. It has not gotten better. Week 2 was about your reaction to the apparent burial of LA Knight, and then this week we got to get the week 2 watch of LA Knight's Gate, because he was on Raw this week during an ad break, in a promo during the ad break, and the promo was cut off before he was completed. And there was a fan video that came out that revealed that he did not look pleased and started yelling at production after he was cut off during his promo. So week 2 of LA Nightgate, what is your reaction, Jimmy?
I keep hearing a lot of these reporters tell me that he's not being punished for the fucking Jey Uso sign. We've reached 1984 where I'm being told, don't believe your eyes. Are you fucking serious? What the fuck is going on? I'm watching it. What do you mean? I'm watching it happen in real time and they tell me it's not happening. Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's right in front of my fucking face. Only way this is even remotely salvageable is if LA Knight's mystery opponent on SmackDown is Austin Theory, and we go back into this Vision situation. Other than that, this is like the most blatant burial I've ever seen. This is intentional. I don't know what he did outside of grab a fucking sign. You fucking serious? But yeah, you don't piss off the Samoans, sir. I don't know what to tell you.
Like it is crazy that he was like so knee deep in the Vision storyline, and then just slowly but surely got torn away from it.
It's egregious
to the point that he's not on the show anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not gonna be Oba. We know that apparently because they hinted at Starks and Oba on NXT. Is that true?
Yeah, he came out at the end. Great match between Ricky Saints and Trick Williams. Probably Ricky's best since he came to WWE. But yeah, they did the little cliffhanger ending where they did the Oba entrance, and all you saw was his silhouette as the lower third said the show was over.
I guess I watch NXT. It sounds like such dog shit, but then there's like moments.
There are moments where it's like, damn, that was really great. This episode this week, I was actually tweeting about it because stuff actually happened. Like it had that great Blake Monroe segment with her interviewing herself or interviewing Toni Storm, however you want to say it. I saw some people saying that. But they had that on the show. They had the Ricky and Trick Last Man Standing was a lot of fun. My boy Jasper Troy won the Speed Championship. It was a good episode. I thought it was good.
So yeah, if it's not Oba, that narrows it down to Theory. Nobody said that. It's just my desperate attempt at illusion.
getting LA Knight back into the main event.
Who else was the? I saw some other choices.
Hendry.
Who?
Joe Hendry.
Oh, Joe Hendry be fine, Joe. If we can't beat Joe Hendry, we should leave. We should really just up and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we'll know where this burial is at. If it's like a minor burial, like it's like Triple H 1995, 1996 burial, then he's gonna face someone that he can beat in the first round. But if we're in nuclear territory, if we're in Baron Corbin, just interrupted that doctor backstage 2017 burial, then he's losing this first round matchup.
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't think him leaving for a while would be fine. Like, walk out for 6 months, a year even. I wouldn't do 7 years. You're not quite that young, but like 6 months, a year. Come back, pay your fine, be a hero.
Jay says, if we can't beat Joe Hendry, we should leave. I love how committed Jimmy is to LA Knight. It's like you talk about LA Knight like he's a sports team. It's great.
The only person I give a fuck about. Probably because I appreciate the underdog. Yeah, I'm over this. I love how you don't take a hint, by the way. I told my friend here. Here's my friend who loves and appreciates me so much, by the way. I told him in very plain English. So after what they did to LA Knight, I need no WWE updates. He sent me something about LA Knight right after that. He sent me something about Blake Monroe. Like, what the fuck? There's no updates. Do you not understand?
I thought you meant Raw. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Raw. I didn't know if you saw the video of LA Knight. I'm just
but did Mariah May do well?
Yeah, it was the best thing she's done since he came to WWE. That was the Mariah May that was like great during the Toni Storm rivalry. We got that in that segment. That was really well done. Final thing.
Frantic World.
No,
the Fitzgeralds of the world overreacted. Shocking. Shocked. It's going to work out for somebody who's gorgeous and uber talented and comes from the rival promotion. It's going to work out for her, you think? Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought Triple H tried to make that work? Dopes. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's not like everybody from AEW wins some type of championship when they get here. even Lexis King has been Heritage Cup champion. Like, what are we doing here? Final note that I wanted to bring up with you before we get into Dynamite Blood and Guts. Chris Jericho.
Uh-oh.
Chris Jericho has found himself back in the headlines again. He was on Talk is Jericho this week, where he interviewed the Hardys and the Dudleys about their one final table matchup back at Bound for Glory last month. He talked about the show and how it looked, and he talked about how big the crowd was. And let me get the quote so I can get it correct here.
Please do.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm getting this right here before Chris Jericho says that I misquoted him, and then I make the list or something like that, or whatever Epstein list Chris Jericho has now. I don't know. But let's see here, Chris Jericho, and then it should basically come up. But basically, he was praising TNA and TNA Bound for Glory, and basically threw some shade at AEW at the same time.
Ooh.
He said, and I quote, "That crowd looked huge. It looked huge. It was like a WWE level crowd. The place was packed. I was watching this and not saying anything out of school here, but comparing it to watching Dynamite when they were at the ECW arena, which looked like a Toni Cordella taping. Sorry, it did. TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world." And that was amazing. And the presentation was amazing. Mind you, this came on the same week that Brandon Thurston revealed the real numbers for Bound for Glory, which TNA said they set the record for their most tickets sold or most people attended event ever with 7,700 in attendance. And it was revealed that they only sold 5,500 tickets and that only 6,000 went through the turnstile. So
6,000. Okay.
So they really did 6,000, and Chris Jericho said that looked like a WWE level crowd, and basically shitted on AEW at the same time.
How big was the building?
The building hosts 12,000.
6,000 or 12,000 building. I would say it's easy to make that mistake, but this is Chris Jericho. He's been in the fucking building before. A building or two. Well, first things first, we got to give credit where it's due. He said the ECW arena looked shit. Didn't I say that every fucking time it was there? Wasn't that me? It looked awful.
You did.
Terrible looking building. But comparing that to fucking TNA, what was the Slammiversary?
It was Bound for Glory.
Bound for whatever. Who cares?
They said they reported 7,700 was in attendance. 7,000.
Only off by a little bit. Imagine you expecting a $7,700 check and 6,000 showed up. Somebody's getting fucked up. Okay, well, Jericho's gone because Jericho is the least subtle person on the planet.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, I would get as much kissing up as you can now because Triple H doesn't forget.
Yo, he don't forget. Do you think this is the right move for you? Okay. Okay.
I need creative control in my contract. I need all types of shit if I'm going to work for this motherfucker. We do not get along. I wish it would turn out well for Jericho. My history says it won't, even beyond the Triple H stuff. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, Charlie. Have fun. I mean, you get a couple of matches in there, probably against Cody. Maybe one against Punk, since he refuses to go off and punch anybody in the face. He just accepts whatever horseshit they give him. Wrestling Logan Paul. Good Lord.
I can't wait for the promo Triple H is going to cut on Jericho's return, where he comes out and be like, I'm the most objective person who can tell you about who had the greatest debut and return ever in WWE history. So let me tell you, stand up, get on your feet for Chris Jericho. Dude, that shit on Monday, that is like the top. That's a top 5 Triple H grandstand moment. Like, dude had to do an intro for John Cena in Boston, telling the Boston fans to get up and stand on it.
Get up.
You need me to. And then the promo started, because I didn't mention this on Rated Raw Review. The promo starts with him shitting on the fans. It seems like nowadays everybody has an opinion. The fans, the locker room, media. But I think that we can all agree the only person who was objective opinion is me. He is one of a kind. This is like one of the greatest egos that we've ever seen in real time.
This is. I don't think we've seen an ego grow this fast. At least one that was already big. I don't think we've seen one grow this fast from when he took over. He was already a pretty big ego, as you should have, to now where this is jarring. Listen, coming out at WrestleMania is egregious, but I mean, you're the ringmaster, feel free. And then from that to the Netflix debut where he fucking has a video package at the beginning, then he comes out in the box or whatever the fuck. That was already egregious. And then to go from there, it's only been 11 months. To go from there to introducing John Cena in Boston is absurd. What the fuck is going on? Where does it even go from here? Holy shit. Sir. I will say this, though. Him shitting on the fans at the beginning, that's what I thought was happening. When Triple H came out, I thought we were getting that fucking, when Vince used to bring Shane and Stephanie and them all out, and we're changing things around. We're going to fucking include. I thought that's what we're doing.
That's what I thought, too. I thought that was what we were getting, too. Because I was like, what are you even talking about? What is going on?
I saw he feeling the heat. Then he introduces John Cena. What the fuck is going on? It's over, sir. I'm sorry. Maybe that's what it is. He feels it. He feels the heat. I hope so. You should. Shit is getting tight.
And you literally can't call yourself objective when you've named other people the greatest of all time. He's done interviews where he said Shawn Michaels is the greatest of all time. Ric Flair's the greatest of all time. Dude, 3 months ago when he's talking about Hulk Hogan, he called him the greatest of all time. You can't do this. You cannot do this.
Good Lord.
Oh, my God. Thank God I brought that up because I had to hear your opinion on that. That was great. All right, let's talk about AEW Dynamite. Blood and Guts last night, Greensboro, North Carolina. What did you think about the crowd last night? I thought they were really, really, really good.
Yeah, I thought they were great. How many people there? How big was this building?
I want to say like I think it was like 4,500 before, like a couple hours before bell time. I think that building is like a 10,000, 11,000 seater.
Okay. Same anniversary numbers. Fair enough. No, you just tell me what the time was. For glory. You just told me.
No, that probably was the Slammiversary number.
I gotta say this. I know we're about to get into the show, but there's something completely hysterical about them doing the blood for guts stuff, them explaining the fucking match, how serious this all is. There's videos. The announcer bringing this up, how dangerous this all is. The fucking structure comes down and it covers the 2 rings, and then out comes Sky Blue. There's something.
I'm sorry. Any other time I would agree with you.
No, we're not doing this.
Not how she
reaching to her wrist.
No, we're not doing it. No. Sky Blue.
Oh my God. Now she's Ric Flair.
Top three blade job of all time. I don't care what you say.
Good Lord. Now she's Ric Flair. What are we doing?
The arena goes dark to start the show. Justin Roberts introduces the first ever women's blood and guts. The women are continuing to make history here. We get the first entrance, the aforementioned Sky Blue coming out first. And then, of course, for the babyface team, Willow Nightingale, which I thought this was the perfect 2 ladies to start off the matchup, because it didn't take long to get one of the elements that makes this matchup. Mere minutes into the matchup, they start attacking each other with weapons. Willow switches levels and hammers Sky. She takes her to the other ring, rams her into the corner, then swings her around by her pigtails. The guys are making jokes about being married and women having their hair up. You know what's going down. Sky tries to... Yes. Sky tries to run Willow's face into the cage, but Willow's able to fight it off. Willow eventually pounces Sky into the cage, and she goes face first. And from there, we get one of the greatest blade jobs of all time to me. Blue is fulfilling the blood portion of the blood and guts matchup very early on in this matchup until she is joined in the ring by her fellow sister of sin, Julia Hart, to give the heels the advantage. They start ripping away at the pad. They're looking for something, but then they bash Willow's head into the turnbuckles. Hart with the Undertaker rope walk and attack. Hart checks on Blue, who is bleeding uncontrollably at this point. They instead got to ring number 2 and proceed to double team Willow. We get the cartwheel clothesline from Blue, a running back elbow from Hart, and they do double team front suplex and basement superplex. And then we get Sky, who says, "This is my match now," and just pouring. Oh my God. Pouring with blood. Her shit was caked up. This is one of the greatest Crimson Masses in AEW history. This was great. You get next, Feel the Wrath. Well, Harley Cameron is out to back up her Babes with Wrath tag team partner, Willow Nightingale. So you get a preview of the Sisters of Sin versus the Babes of Wrath. They get some double team. We got the Tree of Woe and then a drop kick with a chair into the face. We get Willow hitting a cannonball in the corner with a trash can lid with a smile on it right in front of her. Then we get Sky has a choke on Harley while Willow hits a pounce period on Julia as we return from commercial break. Out next for the Triangle of Madness, it's Tekla. Tekla starts going crazy. She starts whipping fools with a belt that had to look like it hurt. We get a spear to Willow. Tekla then whips both ladies once again before Jamie Hayter is out next to even the odds and continue her rivalry with Tekla. She goes after Tekla with a barbed wire kendo stick at one point and then starts beating the heels with her belt like crazy. Out next, we get Megan Bayne. She is here alongside Penelope Ford, who is holding a chair, running knee to Hayter, lariat to Willow, fall-away slam to Cameron. They just made Megan Bayne look like an absolute beast throughout this matchup. She was no-selling a lot of the weapon shots throughout as well. She then stacked Harley and Willow and hits a running splash. Hayter was back and started trading strikes with Bayne for a bit. Bless Harley because she gets smacked. She smacked Megan in the back, which had no effect. Bayne comes back. Then we get one of the most gnarly spots of the matchup, and they barely even show it. Whereas Kris Statlander is coming out next, and they just shoot back to the ring where Megan Bayne has Jamie Hayter in the corner with a trash can lid covering her face, and this chick launches a chair right at her dome. I was like, oh my God, you just gave her CTE. Congratulations. The AEW Women's World Champion, Kris Statlander, comes flying in with a pool cue. She goes face-to-face with Megan Bayne, calling back to their encounter in the first ever Women's Casino Gauntlet earlier this year. Queen Aminata chases Penelope Ford to the back. We get a moment where Willow and Kris come face-to-face. They don't know what to do about actually working together, and it causes the heels to regain control. Harley is climbing the cage as Megan tries to catch her. Harley then hits a crossbody from the side of the cage onto Megan before the heels are able to regain control. At that point, this brings out Mercedes Moné. The Ultimo Moné has her belt boys and the belts displayed on a table at ringside. She comes out, takes a sip of champagne, not really concerned with going directly into the ring. She eventually gets into the ring, hits a head scissors to Harley, then Kris snatches her up and sits her in the corner. She goes for Saturday Night Fever, but Mercedes is able to reverse out of it. She hits a big tornado DDT onto the AEW Women's World Championship. And well, shit, she says, I actually like using the belts as weapons. So she goes outside and starts grabbing all of her weapons. She grabs all the belts from ringside and brings them to the ring. basically gives it to her tag team partners to start using against the baby faces here. Then we get Mina Shirakawa was out next. She comes out with a barbed wire bat to join the fray. She starts going after a couple of the heels, starts going after Megan Bayne, getting a measure of revenge for last week's matchup. Then you get Marina Shafir, who really kind of changed the tone of this matchup a bit, where she comes in and it's straight up Death Rider mode. She goes right after the AEW Women's World Champion, Kris Statlander, drags her out of the cage, brings her to the floor. She whips her into the barricade, and then she unveils a bed of nails for the first time since All in Texas. She pulls it out. Her and Kris Statlander fight over using the bed of nails before she's able to hit a mid kick right to the chest. And Statlander takes a back bump right onto the bed of nails, which had to hurt, had to suck. You get Marina Shafir, who takes off her socks, throws it in her face, and basically flips her off. Marina then enters the ring, and this is in time for the final participant into the women's Blood and Guts, Timeless Toni Storm, who is clutching her pearls. She got pearl necklaces that she starts using as weapons. She starts smacking fools left and right. Everyone squared off with an opponent, though, so this where the official Blood and Guts matchup begins, and now you can win by submission or surrender. Storm has a bucket with champagne broken glass bottles as she tries to do another tap pie street fight in the middle of this Blood and Guts. She nails Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne with some punches. Mina and Toni hit double DDT on Megan Bayne before we go to the final commercial of the matchup. You get Hayter and Blue have climbed the cage. Hayter is hammering away on Blue when we get the heels to fight back. We get a pounce period on Tekla and Hart. Mina comes in with a tornado DDT. Then out of nowhere we get the Triangle of Madness. We get Tekla and Julia Hart just decide to climb out the cage. They climb through the thrust and basically climb to the floor. They start setting up things, and then Mercedes starts throwing all the baby faces from out of the cage and basically tries to separate the babyface team a bit with the Triangle of Madness attacking them on the floor. Meanwhile, you got Timeless Toni Storm, who's attacking the heels in the ring with her high heel. On the floor, though, you get a double spear by Tekla onto both Harley and Hayter to take them out. Hayter took a horrible bump outside of this cage where she went falling down the stairs and then went into the barricade. She also had a fun spot where she tried to powerbomb Sky Blue through a table and it did not break. It felt like this table was from Japan, and she had to do an elbow drop, and all the table did was slightly bent. Then you get Mercedes is dominating in the ring when Harley shows up with Mini Monet to one of the biggest pops of this whole entire matchup, which was insane. Mercedes takes the Mini Monet puppet off, and it reveals that Harley is wearing brass knuckles, which she uses to punch out Mercedes. Eventually, Mercedes joins the rest of the crew outside the ring, and she eventually gets a Samoan drop through a table at ringside by Kris Statlander to take them out. In the ring, you got Timeless Toni Storm, who pulls out a mirror. She's going for Sweet Cheeks music with the mirror in front of Marina Shafir, but Marina gets up and smashes the mirror over Timeless Toni Storm's head. Willow with a superplex off the top rope to Megan Bayne, right onto both aprons between the two rings. That looked crazy. She then wraps a barbed wire bat, does Marina Shafir. She takes advantage of Megan Bayne being out of this. She tries to lock on a figure four with the barbed wire bat in between it until Marina Shafir shows up. She stomps on the glass that is on the mat and stomps at the chest of Mina Shirakawa and then locks her in mother's milk. Meanwhile, the rest of the heels, the Triangle of Madness, have returned to the ring, and they're holding Timeless Toni Storm, so she's forced to watch the woman that she loves, her tag team partner, being destroyed, being choked out by Marina Shafir in the mother's milk. Meanwhile, you got Megan Bayne, who has picked up one of Mercedes' titles and is whooping Mina Shirakawa with it in a similar fashion of how Timeless Toni Storm was turned on and betrayed by Mariah May. So she's forced to watch the woman she loves, her tag team partner being whooped and tortured and punished in the same way she was before. So she has no choice but to surrender. The heels get the win. Triangle of Madness, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Moné. I thought this was an awesome matchup. This was chaotic. It was not always the cleanest. It was clunky at times, but it just added to the feel of this is just wild insanity. This is batshit crazy. All these women deserve a bunch of credit, but I really think the MVPs of the matchup, people that probably got over the most in this matchup, Megan Bayne looked like an absolute beast. Marina Shafir was a real difference maker in the matchup. I thought Timeless Toni Storm added a bunch of story to the match. Of course, Sky Blue with that blade job, but just overall, the ladies, the women's division, this is one of this is one of those matches that you look back on and just say this was a big moment for this entire division. Great match. What did you think?
You're doing well to the end there. I think you look back and say, I thought this would change things, and it hasn't. This is a good match. It was a very good match. You talked about how clunky it was. It was quite a bit, particularly when Ric Flair and fucking Julia Hart were forced to do anything on their own. I'm sorry. I know you all love Sky Blue, and yes, she is rather good with the razor blade. I know some chicks on Fordham Road who are rather good with the razor blade, but I don't think that makes you qualified to be a professional wrestler. No disrespect. That beginning where they have to sync up their moves and slam Willow around, it's awful looking. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm not gonna blame Jimmy Hayter for the table. Nothing you can do about that. The table doesn't want to cooperate. Not her fault. She's still a professional. One of the best in the business. This one, I liked it. It was violent. I thought everybody stood out appropriately outside of maybe Tekla. Sorry. I mean, your whole thing is that you're kind of crazy, but not really compared to Toni Storm or Marina Shafir or the rest of your teammates, one of whom is bleeding like a pig.
I thought she looked good when she first came in, but the biggest blunder in the matchup is her trying to tell fucking Harley and Hayter to run at her so she could spear them outside the ring. That was just like, you just made everybody look stupid.
Tekla stinks. Can we just say this? How long does it wait?
No,
I'm just wondering how
I do
long
not
I
think
have to
Tekla
wait.
stinks. No.
Oh, fine, sure. Stinks is strong. I'm talking about comparative to her spot. Like, she should be like Sky Blue, or like that level of performer. TJ, like, people should be offended if they have to lose to Tekla in 3 minutes. They should be like, what?
They know it's time to go when they have to lose to Tekla in 3 minutes.
I was gonna say, that's probably when Mercedes throwing people out the ring. Do yourself a favor. Watch her throw Jamie Hayter and then Harley and then Statlander out the ring.
It's like
watch
3 different ways.
Then watch how Cameron bumps out that fucking ring.
It's 3 different ways.
Fucking
Harley does a run. Harley does a run and then jump like I just got through. Freaking Statlander is the most realistic, where she just dies. She just dies on the steps. She just gets thrown and dies on the steps. Hayter said, I'm gonna fuck my shit up, and got thrown and falls right into the barricade.
I thought Marina was fine. I thought the best part of the match actually was not the nail bump, which was great. It was then fucking Marina just taking her socks off. Like,
yes.
She's getting ready for work. It was the funniest shit ever. She's like, she's murdered somebody. MVP of this was Bayne. I just can't. She felt like a star. She looks like a star. She sold like a star, which is to not do that at all. And she bodied up. Was it Willow and Statlander at one point? I was like, what the fuck is even going on? Yes. That is a star. I don't know what's gonna happen. Props to Mercedes for kind of taking her bump and getting the fuck out of the way, as the rest of the division got to look important for however long that's going to be.
Yeah, I think they used the 2 top stars very well here. Like you said, Mercedes was kind of like an outlier where she just continued her rivalry with Statlander, had a little moment with Harley, and basically stayed out of the way of the more kind of women that are accustomed to this type of brawling format of stipulation. And then Toni, I felt like Toni brought a lot of story and character work to the matchup, which she's always meant to do.
Yes, some of which I didn't quite buy. I think that finish hits harder if that's Mariah May, obviously, right?
Yeah. In a perfect world, that's probably what they intended for, but
deal for what we got, I suppose.
I think they've done a good job of establishing her and Mina, and I think that this did a great job of really getting like hype for the women's tag team tournament as well, because they built out the timeless love bombs versus Marina and Megan. You could do timeless love bombs versus Sisters of Sin if they advance. They did Sisters of Sin and the Babes of Wrath during this matchup, and they also build up Mercedes and Statlander. So great job by all 12 ladies in the match.
Yeah, I thought it was really effective. Way more effective than what we see later. We'll move on.
Okay, fair enough. We'll get to there for sure. We got a couple of comments to highlight here from the chat. We got Mr. Town bringing up Miss Bayne, the Megasis, who he says Megan Bayne is having a crazy run this week. She is going right back to Japan. Yeah, Joey Janela put out on his Twitter earlier, I think earlier today, where he was like, yeah, Megan just flew in to Newark, New Jersey, and just flew out again to Japan. She's going back to Stardom. And then she'll be back next week for Dynamite and Full Gear. And then she's going right back to Japan the day after Full Gear.
I'm a fucking hype man. I can't be mad at it. You mentioned Joey Janela, and I was like, why would I care about? And I was right. Then I remember Penelope Ford too. I was like, right. Then I got confused for a minute. How is this even happening? None of this makes any sense to me. But hey, whatever's working.
Doctor. He's a Riz doctor. I mean, come on, man.
She should be Statlander. I'm sticking by that.
Dude, yeah. I had that thought in this matchup when they were emphasizing anytime she went face to face with Kris Statlander and talking about their interaction in the Casino Gauntlet. I was like, in a perfect world, you do Megan beats Statlander and then Willow dethrones Megan.
Yeah, I love Megan May, even for lack of charisma, facial expressions, or ability to form a character, or pretty much everything that's not physical. It's hard to explain. Some people are just that fucking good. Still my favorite Julia match ever, and probably my favorite Julia match of all time if Triple H has his way.
Oh my god, we ain't talk about that burial. Holy shit,
that felt more like a restart though. We gotta do it again. I fucked up. Let's go back. Let's run it back. Well, he wouldn't say that. He said my people fucked up. We're gonna do that again.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's their fault. It's someone else's fault. It's definitely not my fault. We're gonna put you with the Kabuki Warriors on Raw. That's probably the solution.
Please.
We got a super chat donation from our good brother Chuck Berries in the chat. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support here, sir. So we'll give you the mic so you can
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Shavon. What the hell is wrong with you?
Chuck Berry says, I might be alone in this thinking, but if Toni and Mina don't win the tag team titles, I am going to be kind of pissed. I mean, this finish did set up where the logical thing to do is the timeless love bombs become the first champion.
Yes, a very feel-good moment as Toni Storm and this Make-A-Wish kid win fucking tag team titles. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
You gotta stop.
You
must be.
Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
Fucking The Rock and the Brooklyn Brawler win the tag team titles.
Come on, Brooklyn Brawler!
What are you doing? Come on, she doesn't win any real matches. She's not particularly talented as compared to the rest of the field. Like, what are we doing? And how long are we going to do it? Brian May left. Can we move on? Can we let this go and keep her around forever? Jesus.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dion says Toni Storm is morphing into Pennywise. that face paint she had on was crazy. I was like, you do look very unhinged coming into this cage looking like this. Yeah. We got also here in the chat, saw some comments I wanted to highlight. Oh yeah, we got Fitzgerald who said the women showed out. I put them a step above the men's with how good it was. And we got James Hayes, who says the women's match was awesome. Yeah, I feel like the women's match, I feel like the wrestling in the men's matchup was technically better, but this was the more crowd pleasing and more violent spectacle that we come to expect from Blood and Guts. And it had the better layout, because I'm going to tell people, I'm going to say the same thing I told Triple H's dumbass the last couple of years. I'm going to tell your dumbass, Tony Khan. Just because you're doing 2 Blood and Guts matches doesn't mean that one has to be with the baby faces having the advantage. You did a good job of explaining that away, and the second half was the heels in the advantage. But you don't need to even put yourself in that situation. Just Blood and Guts War Games are much better when the heels have the advantage.
Blood and Guts and War Games are much better when there's stars involved. And fucking Darby and Moxley don't quite make up for 8 other fucking people. I'm sorry. Just doesn't. No disrespect.
Very disrespectful. Lower Good Doer says, I love that Mercedes gave the shine to her team by being taken out. All of them will wear gold in 2026. Dope. I did love the final shot of all 5 of her teammates in the ring celebrating. And Mercedes is just laid out in the table.
It's obvious. Interesting visual for me. It's black woman just laid out. These 5 white men raise their hand in the ring. It's just kind of, you trying to tell me something? What's going on here? I don't know if I like this.
Oh, now you accept Mercedes into the community. All right, I'll see how it is.
She's a quarter or whatever she is, right?
Yes. She's half. She's at least half.
Half? I don't know about that. Is she half German or something? That cancels it out. You gotta take a biology class.
My God. Pedro says Sky Blue has cemented her spot of bloody woman in AEW history. We got Alexander who asks, what are you gonna say?
It didn't work out great for everybody being a bloody woman in AEW history. So what? Was that secure yet? Nothing. They decided they're done.
Alexander says, was Harley's outfit a Tifa a Lockhart outfit? Yes, it was. She confirmed that on social media. Seems like everybody enjoyed this women's blood and guts matchup for sure. We got Mercedes did not bleed in the matchup, but she, like you said, I think this was the best use where she was able to use her star power to put the spotlight on other people in the matchup.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Gentleman Chase says Megan Bayne no-sold everything at the end, got suplex on the steel grate, and then the submission and gets up like nothing. She's a monster. Right. I loved it.
Let's go. It's common sense.
I'm not selling this shit. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm the Megasis. This is great. Really enjoyed this, and it felt like a big moment for the women. So hopefully we get some type of follow-up. I doubt it, but hopefully. Next up, we get a brawl backstage that breaks out with the Callis family and Jurassic Express. After they are subdued, we see the Young Bucks, Kazuchika Okada and Don Callis, emerge from their trailer. Alexander says, this is what happens when you cross their family. Don Callis says, we're giving an example exactly what we're going to do at Full Gear. And he says he hears that next week, Kenny Omega will return. So we will send a message to him as well next week on Dynamite. And then Okada looks at the Bucks and he points to his watch and he tells them it's decision time. So we did get the confirmation Kenny Omega returns next week. This was so obviously shot last week and not literally the Bucks and Okada and Callis are all in the same outfit they were in last week.
Yeah, I still don't give a fuck about any of this. I'm sorry. If it's not Okada sketch, I don't care. Sorry. Please and thank you.
Fair enough. Next up, AEW World Heavyweight Champion Hangman Adam Page, he is out against Powerhouse Hobbs in a Falls Count Anywhere matchup after Powerhouse Hobbs' World's Most Dangerous Slam to Page on last week's show. Hobbs immediately rips a turnbuckle pad off in ring 2 as the bell rings. Not content to be outdone, Page also rips one off out of spite. Both men start slugging it out for a bit. Hobbs picks up Page and he goes to throw him into one of the exposed corners, but Page escapes. They struggle for control. Page catches Hobbs with a big boot and then low bridges him, taking him out to the floor. Page with a corner clothesline from ring 2 to ring 1. Page then hits another corner lariat. He leaps over Hobbs on the third attempt, and Hobbs hits a big lariat of his own. Page rolls to the outside into the floor as Hobbs ripped the wrap off the middle section of the champion, exposing his injured ribs from the slam last week. He slams him into the barricades as girls start chanting, "Holy shit." He does it again onto the apron and then throws Page into the ring. Hobbs then turns around to look into the crowd, but Page hits him with the tope to the back of Hobbs. Page with some offense, but one knee to the midsection cancels all that out as Hobbs runs Page face first into the ring post and then into the barricade. He moves the ring sets and sets up Page. Hobbs charges in, but Page moves. Hobbs goes plop right onto the ground. Then Page jumps off the steel steps into Hobbs's arms as Hobbs slams him down onto the steel steps and poses over him, where you get this great shot. Hobbs tells Shivani, "This is all your fault," as he walks up the steps with Page. Hobbs then hit the World's Strongest Slam again on the steel steps. Then we get Hobbs with a Oklahoma Stampede in the ring for a 2 count. Hobbs sends Page from the ring and says, "I told you," then walks over to the announcer's table. He removes the top and climbs on top with Page. Hobbs takes way too long, so Page, on a night that has 2 blood and guts, I don't know, Jimmy, how Hobbs had the worst bump of the night. Even worse than Darby's, to me, was Hobbs getting backdropped off the table and bouncing on his ass like he was riding one of those fucking propellable bouncy balls in a toy store. He bounced off his ass, bounced on it again. Shit, that looked like it sucked big time. Page fight.
No fucking payoff, with no fucking big pop, with no fucking anything. Nobody spectacles, no fucking, there's not gonna be any highlight reels. What a stupid bump that is. Sorry.
They fight into the crowd where Page hits him with the 10 punches. Then he grabs a beer from a willing fan and drinks it. He hits the Orihara moonsault out of the balcony onto Hobbs. Page with a lariat, but Hobbs is still on his feet. Page looking for the dead eye, but Hobbs sneaks out the back door. Page hits him with a trash can, but he charges into Hobbs, who hits a spine buster through a table. Hobbs takes his straps down. He drags Page up the steps. Hobbs is thinking about the world's most dangerous slam, but Page escapes that. Hobbs is hanging precariously over the rail as Page is gaining momentum and clobbering him down. It looks like Hobbs is about to fall before Page runs up the steps in the crowd. He then charges forward. He takes off his boot and nails Hobbs in the head with his cowboy boot. Hobbs crashes and burns, nearly taking out the electricity in the building as he falls through tables and the production set. And that huge production box, the equipment box, crashes down onto Hobbs's body. And for what I think was the first time in AEW history, Jimmy, that was the finish. The peak of the match, the biggest spot of the match was the finish. Dude, I will tell you, between this match and the main event, these finishes, I was like, wow, that was a great finish. The great finish for me was the fact that was just the finish, that was it, that was enough to put away Hobbs. That was the height of the matchup. It was the perfect spot to end the matchup. And boy, oh boy, was this a banger out of nowhere. It was all thriller, no filler. It was a straight up brawl. It added to the chaotic, violent feel of the night. So I thought this was a wonderful addition to be smack down in the middle of 2 blood and guts matches. Post-match, you get Katsuyori Shibata. He arrives to attack Page. He attacks him on the outside, running him into the barricade. Samoa Joe shows up here with a steel chair. He starts beating up Page. He then looks at the cage and he asks it to be lowered. Somehow, someone in the back just decides to do it before it can be completely covered, the ring. Eddie Kingston comes out and he starts brawling with Katsuyori Shibata. Hook comes in and he runs off Samoa Joe. We got Eddie and Hook get into the ring, and Eddie feels like he's getting back into form. This was an Eddie Kingston save here because he just starts hitting himself in the head with a chair and just walking around like a madman in the ring as Page cuts a promo. He gets on the mic and he says, Samoa Joe, if you wanted me in a steel cage, all you had to do was ask, you dumbass. So at Full Gear, leave Shibata at home, leave Hobbs in the hospital. He's going to need to be in the hospital after those bumps, because it will be me and you inside of a steel cage for my title. So Full Gear, the AEW World Championship on the line, Hangman Adam Page, Samoa Joe, inside of a 15-foot high steel cage. Great match. The post-match giving a stipulation to the Hangman Joe rematch, which is something I've been asking you about for multiple weeks, right? Since this match was made official, I was like, gotta have a stipulation. So steel cage makes a bunch of sense with the guys involved. What did you think about this?
I don't know how I feel about the fucking stipulation. It's an odd choice, at least for the moment. Okay, hey, you want to see something like tonight, except less cool and with less people? We're gonna do that. It's all right, sure. I suppose so. Match was really good. I thought Hangman was in form. I saw something. I don't want to do that bingo thing you guys always say I do. But you ever see those tweets where somebody will post something like "I can't draw," and then they'll put up a picture of something that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. So somebody do "I can't draw," and somebody put Seth Rollins up there, and I popped. I only say that because they were going to everybody. They were going to fucking everybody with that. Seth Rollins, Hangman, Tiffany Stratton. It just made me laugh. Hangman made me think of that. No, he's not a draw. I'm sorry. I know you all love him. No disrespect. He's talented. That counts for something, I suppose. So, not talented enough to be in the main event of anything. That's a shame. Not of blood and guts. Not of pay-per-views. Not of anything, really. That's interesting. God, well.
He made it last week. What are we talking about?
Oh, he made it in Dynamite? Oh, go ahead. You and Dustin Rhodes and what's the fucking hairy guy's name? God damn it, I forgot his fucking name. Caveman. This was a really good match. I thought Hobbs was like a star. Hobbs is a star.
Yeah.
He should be at the very least. He's got great facial expressions. He's got a great look. He looks gigantic. I'm not sure how he fits the doors. And he's willing to go the extra mile, including egregiously stupid bumps, like the ones for the announce table, and then ones that make sense, like the one that ended the match. I liked all of this. This was fucking great. And the post-match was well done, if you ignore the fact that Samoa Joe ran away from Hook. Ignore that fact. It's great.
Dion Jenkins says Hangman to me feels like AEW's version of DDP.
People's champion, tall, kind of lanky, ugly looking hair, talented. Yeah, I see it.
So we got Darby as Sting, Hangman as DDP. Who's Lex Luger?
Oh my God. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm gonna leave it alone. Was on a heel Luger or babyface Luger?
I view in this analogy, I'm talking about like 1997 Luger.
Okay, so we'll go babyface.
No.
I love somebody big. Pause. Somebody who does what he does, and that's about it.
Who's just a bunch of muscles.
I don't know if they have.
No, I don't think so either. We got Good Doer. He says Forget Hook. Hobbs is ready. Give him that Batista push. Did you watch the link I sent you with that promo he did too yesterday?
I didn't know. Was that what that was? You didn't
Yeah.
tell me who it was. You just said his best promo. I was like, that could be more WWE stuff. Not watching.
It wasn't WWE at least. Jesus.
How would I know? I didn't click on it.
It has AEW in the link. What are you talking about?
It's just a Drain Bammer or whoever the fuck posted it. Oh, was that something else? That was LA Knight. I don't know. I stopped clicking.
Yeah. We got Annika says, I know his tailbone is killing him right now. You know he woke up and he was pissed off with himself.
Yeah, what a terrible idea. How was that supposed to go? I think it went exactly how it was supposed to go. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah. It was a bad idea. That spot. It was sick. It was fucking sick. It was just like, dude, why even do this? What are you doing? But yes, great match by both guys there. Then you got before they told us that up next was the main event, but then we get Excalibur shilling DraftKings as we return. He says that TK has made the match official for Full Gear. It's a steel cage match between Joe and Paige. Then we get Tony Schiavone in the ring, and he introduces Greensboro's own Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He waxes poetically about the history of wrestling in Charlotte. The Dragon has arrived. He gets on the mic and gets into the ring. He embraces Tony. He says that Tony was here in June of 1978 as a fan when Ricky and Paul Jones teamed up to become the World Tag Team Champions. Ricky and Dustin Rhodes became tag team champions right here on TBS.
Lord.
Ricky wants to thank TBS for airing this. He points out a poster that shows the Mount Rushmore of wrestling, and it's Flair, Dusty, Sting, and Steamboat. Ricky says his number one nemesis was Sting. He came to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling when he was 16 months into the business. Ric Flair went to Jim Crockett and said, they have a real good kid here. Let's see what we can do with him. And before he can continue, out comes FTR. Ricky immediately, before FTR can even say anything to interrupt him, he says, I know him. Yes, Grandpa, I'm your grandson. What are you talking about, sir? Ricky says that he respects and he knows Dax. He wants to mention that a few years back, he had his hand in working with him. He saw him in the back that he is climbing the ladder and that he is making it up. Stokes says, thank you. He says he can't believe he is standing in the ring with a legend. Now, Ricky, you know FTR are the greatest tag team alive today. But Ricky, my name is Big Stokes. And no, I am not Denzel Washington. Apparently, people get them confused. Ricky is synonymous with professional wrestling history, especially in this building. But it's ironic because next Saturday, the 22nd, in Newark, New Jersey, FTR will make history when they become 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. Stokes says, but he really wants this opportunity to be with a legend. So, Ricky, could you give me Macho Man Randy Savage's phone number? I haven't seen him on TikTok in a while.
Jesus.
I was like, damn, that might have been the coldest punchline Stokely said in a while. Cash and Dax, they get in between Stokes and the Dragon. He shows a picture of Ricky's last match with FTR 3 years ago. Cash says that Ricky picked them because he knows they are miracle workers and they can drag his former shell of a man to a good match. Dax just gets on the mic, and this is when this shit goes up to 10. Dax says Ricky took him under his wing 13 years ago. He taught him a lot. He taught them a lot. Like he's got this. Oh wait. Ricky hasn't said one intelligent thing in his entire life. Ricky says one thing he didn't teach him is that attitude has gone into the toilet. Dax says that you told him that it doesn't matter how much you make, it's how much you manage it. And if you had taken your own advice, maybe you and Ric Flair wouldn't be here tonight. He says back in 2012, he says, who would have thought they would be standing in the ring on TBS? And who knew that Dax would be an even bigger legend than you were? Ricky and Dax come face to face. Cash approaches to intimidate him. Dax says Ricky has to leave the ring now. Dax picks up the mic and tells him, get out of the ring. Ricky takes the mic from Toni. Going back a few years, I would tell both of you to kiss my ass. But sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. He realized he is going to be 73 years old. He isn't begging or asking for any kind of sorrow or forgiveness, so he is going to be the bigger man today. Dax says, give it up for Ricky Steamboat. FTR try to open up the ring ropes for him and then attack him. They attack Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. They set up for the Spike Power Driver. When the music of the AEW World Tag Team Champions Brodito hits, they come down to make the save. You get Bandito hitting a crazy looking 21 plex on Cash. Brody takes him out of the ring. Then Ricky starts throwing some chops and some rights to Dax. King has Dax up before Stoke pulls him to safety. Bandito kicks Wheeler off the apron as Stokes has his shoe in his hand. Brody and Bandito then shake hands with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and raise his hand to celebrate here with Greensboro. I know a lot of people seem to have a problem with this segment. This was just silly fun for me. I enjoyed every minute of this. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat being drunk and botching his promo only added to my enjoyment. I don't care. I enjoyed this. What about you?
I love this. There's no part about this I didn't love. Once Ricky came out, you knew it was going to go sideways. So I could deal with his blathering about nothing. And then, FTR, fucking splendid. As good as Cash is, Dax is on another fucking planet. He might actually be a dickhead. He's way too good at that. And then I thought Ricky's responses during were really good. A little off-kilter, off-beat for whatever reason. But it made sense. Him not wanting to fight, him discretion, better part of valor. Like, this is all really good shit. And let's start fucking him up? Are you kidding me? This is classic shit here. I gotta be honest. As soon as that women's war game match ended, I would love to be part of the show. And this is where it ended for me. For the next war game. Again, the women's war game is good. Upcoming is a bunch of jobbers and Moxley.
This guy, ridiculous.
I'm sorry, I'm really glad for my apologize. Wheeler and fucking Roddy and who else? Daniel Garcia and who else? Claudio and who else? Come on, what we doing?
Good Doer mentioning something that I did have in my notes here. He says, I love how AEW didn't mention anything about the national championship. However, hopefully TK forgot about it. I did notice that as well, because there was slight mentions of pretty much every other matchup at Full Gear except for the Casino Gauntlet.
If we drop this like we dropped the fucking power rankings or whatever the fuck they were called, this is common sense. This is really good. It's embarrassing a little bit, I guess, but fuck that. Did I hear this because he has beef with the NWA?
It's not because of that. They do have a lawsuit, but that's not the reason why he thinks that you need a title to do matches.
Okay. I think that'll be nice. It's a good show. We're gonna keep it together. It's National Gratitude Month.
Try your best, Jimmy.
I'm fucking trying. I've never seen two people more competent running shows at the same time ever. It's jarring to me. Whatever.
I mean, you did have Jim Cornette and Vince Russo running shows at the same time.
Yeah, they want to get fucking together.
They can balance each other out.
Separate people, two separate companies led by fucking idiots.
Well, Vince was running things when Dixie Carter was running TNA.
What are the years of this?
2010s.
I don't want to shun Triple H too hard, but I think Vince is better. Triple H is right now. Once we get past 2015, then yeah, but 2010-ish, I think I'll take Vince. Sorry.
All right, fair enough. Time to talk about the men's blood and guts matchup. Men's blood and guts. It's Darby Allin, Roger Strong, and the Conglomeration versus the Death Riders. Darby Allin is the first out for the team, and they bring out Wheeler Yuta first for the Death Riders. I thought that one of the MVPs of this entire matchup was Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson did a great job of explaining all the psychology and a lot of the mistakes that Jon Moxley was making in the placement of the matchup. And it starts here with him sending out Wheeler Yuta first. Bryan immediately starts questioning Jon Moxley, saying that he thought that he would have started off with Claudio Castagnoli, that Claudio is usually the person that they send out first, like they did last week in the Advantage battle against Roderick Strong. Against Orange Cassidy. We get Yuta, who walks back out of the cage because he's a sheepish coward. He talks trash with the fans, which allows Darby to sneak up on him from behind. He hits a missile dropkick. He throws Yuta into the barricade, sends him into another barricade. We get "fuck you, Yuta" chants. Darby spat at him as Yuta mocks Darby to get back into the ring after he shuts the door on him. Yuta wails for Darby to get to the door, and then kicks the door right into his head. He continues to talk some smack as Yuta continues to taunt Darby. Darby springs off of the top rope. He then hits the coffin drop. He goes for his Yuta goes for Darby's skateboard, but Darby's able to hit a code red because of it. Then he reveals that he has thumbtacks glued to the bottom of the skateboard and starts stabbing the head of Yuta. We get "you deserve it" chants as Bryan says, yes, I agree, he does deserve it. As Darby has a full control, busting open Yuta. Yuta hits a low blow right before the next member of the Conglomeration comes out, and it's Orange Cassidy. We get Orange coming out. He starts going, hitting his offense, making his comeback on Wheeler Yuta. They start using the skateboard onto Yuta, onto his back, which the fans are enjoying, this 2-on-1 assault on Yuta. Daniel Garcia is out next. He comes out with a surgical mask. He then yokes up both Yuta for both Cassidy and Darby and gains the advantage back for the Death Riders. Eventually, Darby and Orange are able to fight back, which is set up for the third member of their team to come out, which is Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's music hits, but he doesn't come out. We head to the back where Renee Paquette reveals that Mark had been attacked in his locker room. We see Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly checking on him. He is hunched over on the floor. Kyle asks, what are they going to do? And Roddy decides that he's going to go out for Mark Briscoe and replace him for now. Honestly, I thought this right here was teasing that Roddy was going to turn on his team, but it did not turn out to be the case. Roddy comes out. He starts running wild on Yuta and Garcia. Bryan also mentioned that he didn't think it was a wise move, sending out the two youngest members of the Death Riders first by Moxley. Out comes the Swiss sideboard, Claudio Castagnoli, who was great in this matchup.
No, what? Is that a thing?
The Swiss sideboard, yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking heinous. All right.
He looked great in this matchup, though. He immediately comes in. He starts swinging both Darby and Orange at the same time. Then he fucking picks Darby up into a gorilla press and launches him from one ring to another. Darby took this bump perfectly. He perfectly lands on his back. I was like, yo, Darby is a pro at just being tossed like a goddamn fool. But that was great. One of the better moments of the early portion of the matchup. Next out is Kyle O'Reilly. He starts running wild for a bit, but the whole entire vibe of the matchup really changes when Jon Moxley comes into the matchup with a fork as well. And once again, Bryan is pointing out how he thinks that this is unwise, but he does explain why he thinks Moxley is coming out now. Because of the Mark Briscoe attack, this is the only time in the matchup where the Death Riders would have an advantage because they're going back to back. If there's no Mark Briscoe, that means that it's Pac right after Moxley. So this is the right time for Moxley to come in. He immediately comes in. He stabs Kyle O'Reilly in the head with the fork. He punches away on Roderick Strong and then stabs him in the eye with a fork. Darby Allin gets some offense in on him before he tries to go for a coffin drop, but Moxley stabs him in the back with it. He tells Garcia to stab Darby in the back as well. Daniel gets so excited at getting the fork. They chuck Darby in and out of the ring, in between the ring and the cage, where he's just completely demolished. Mark Briscoe would have been next up, but Renee Paquette lets us know that he has been medically disqualified. We then are revealed to the mess that is Kyle O'Reilly. Oh my God, Kyle O'Reilly with another all-timer AEW blade job here, where he is just split open, and I just screamed at my TV, that man has diabetes. This is a mistake. He should not be bleeding like this with diabetes. Pac is, of course, the last man out for his team, and it looks like the Death Riders have the baby faces dead to rights at this point. The Death Riders start slowing things down a bit. Yuta holds up Darby while Pac runs the ropes and hits a big lariat, turning him inside out. Finally, we get some reprieve as Mark Briscoe comes out to join the fray. He has a toolbox and bolt cutters. He cuts the chain off and attacks Yuta from the word go. He throws a chair at Garcia. Claudio misses Briscoe and he hits Pac, allowing for Briscoe to take down Claudio as well. Moxley is on attack, but Briscoe grabs the toolbox. He throws it back in. Yuta grabs onto Briscoe, but Mark hits him with a suplex onto the floor. Cassidy is attacked by Pac with a wrench, while Strong hammers away on Moxley with a chain that Yuta brought in earlier. Cassidy gets a set of pliers and he hits Moxley in the head with them. He hits him in the gut, but Moxley no-sells it and punches away at Orange for a bit. They yoke up Orange, but he puts his hands in his pocket. He attempts to make his comeback, but eventually he makes his comeback on Garcia, and then Claudio grabs him up from behind and Moxley staples his hands into his pocket, which was an awesome spot of the matchup. Meanwhile, you get Yuta and Briscoe are fighting to the top of the cage. You get Briscoe, who's brought a meat hook with a rope that he throws down to Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly hooks some steel chairs up to it, and Briscoe has to drag them up. He goes for a J Driller, but Yuta's able to hit a low blow. Eventually, he is able to hit the J Driller, but I know this was a hell of a sight for the people in the building. Seeing all the action on top of the cage was a great sight for them. Darby is trying to kill Claudio with a hammer, but here is Moxley with Abdullah the Butcher's fork. Briscoe climbs down the cage, but Pac is waiting for him to attack. He sends Briscoe into the barricade, but here is Darby to attack him. But then Darby is attacked with a taser by the returning Gabe Kidd of the Death Riders. Kidd chokes Darby around. He drags him to the top of the stage area with Pac following. Cassidy, meanwhile, is the future. This is when he gets his hand stapled into his pocket. Meanwhile, Kidd and Pac are trying to set up Darby. They set up two tables by the entrance tunnel as Darby and Pac are fighting on top of the entrance tunnel. Meanwhile, Kidd goes to the back and he grabs lighter fluid. He lights up both sets of tables, setting it on fire as Pac delivers a fucking monstrous gorilla press slam off the entrance tunnel through the two flaming tables. Yet Darby will not surrender at all. Back in the ring, Moxley puts a chain around the mouth of Kyle O'Reilly and puts him in the bulldog choke, while O'Reilly flips him off, refusing not to quit. Claudio sets up a chair onto Kyle's throat, trying to break his neck, but OC rolls in. He does a kip up and then breaks his hands out of his pocket. He starts running wild. He gets orange punches on all of the Death Riders. Cassidy, you get Strong coming in with a running knee. Pac is back in, but Briscoe takes care of him. He puts him through a table. Yuta gets put through a table. Cassidy wants the orange punch on Moxley, but Claudio tries to intercept. He hits him. He tries to hit him with a pop-up uppercut, but Orange hits hits a pop-up orange punch. Then he finally hits the orange punch on Moxley, and Moxley gets dragged into the first ring where Kyle O'Reilly puts him in the ankle lock, the same ankle lock that Moxley punched out a referee not to quit to just a month ago. He desperately tries to finagle away. He reverses things into a bulldog choke, but O'Reilly reverses that into the armbar, and then he reverses that into the ankle block. Moxley has no choice. He tries to grab the ropes. He's unable to, and he's forced to tap out and quit yet again on the Death Riders. Because the Conglomeration, Darby Allin, and Roderick Strong have won Blood and Guts, probably the biggest win of Kyle O'Reilly's run in AEW so far. I love the finish of this matchup. The finish of this matchup had me on the edge of my seat, and I love the build up to that with everything that they've done with Kyle O'Reilly and Jon Moxley leading up to this. I thought the men's Blood and Guts was great as well, but I know you hated it. But post match they did. After the show went off of the air, or Darby Allin got on. Orange Cassidy got on the mic and started mocking Jon Moxley for tapping out in Blood and Guts. What did you think about the men's Blood and Guts matchup?
I thought I saw a better version earlier in the night. It was fine. It was fine for what it was. I looked, like you said, the build-up where Moxley didn't want to tap out to O'Reilly and then tapping at the end was a nice button on the end of it, except it's fucking Kyle O'Reilly. What are we doing? That's how we're ending the fucking Blood and Guts with Kyle O'Reilly, the biggest one of Kyle O'Reilly's. Yeah, I would fucking say so. Yes, I would say that's pretty fucking accurate. What is this love that Tony Khan and Moxley have with Kyle O'Reilly? This is the second time I've seen Kyle O'Reilly in this spot. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? The last time was when Punk got hurt again. They did that battle royal that fucking Kyle O'Reilly won to fight Moxley. Doesn't anybody remember this? So what the fuck?
I do. What? That's the match where he broke his neck.
It's like, why? What is going on? I don't understand.
Why not?
What the fuck do you mean, why not?
It's
Kyle O'Reilly. That's the answer. That's
why can't we show some Kyle O'Reilly love?
This is not the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're running a professional wrestling organization here. What is going on? Good Lord.
That man is diabetic and he looked like this.
Good Lord. What's that mean?
My God, what a blade job.
It's not a fucking blade job. He doesn't have his body have the ability to stop bleeding. What do you mean? It's not bleeding. Blade job.
He doesn't have the ability to stop bleeding.
I know diabetics like that. If they fucking cut their toe, we gotta take them to the hospital. They won't stop bleeding. Good Lord. That's just fun. That pocket spot is the dumbest thing. How big are these fucking staples? They stapled his hands in his pockets.
Yo, that's my note. Because I was like, well, how does this make sense? How big are the staples that can go over fingers and connect them to pockets?
Oh, good Lord. Whatever. This is fun. This is probably the last Blood and Guts match that I will enjoy because the builds for these have gotten worse and worse and worse. And this is definitely the worst build recently. This and the women's Blood and Guts, but probably had a worse build. It's like, what are we even doing? What are we even doing? Why are we having these matches? I don't understand. Whatever.
I just saw somebody make like the idea that they should book it like a Cybernetico that they do in CMLL, where it is like team format, but it's elimination, and whoever is the last remaining stars from the team should earn like a title shot of some kind. Because then logically it makes sense why people would want to be in this matchup and why it's kind of like mismatched teams.
And why we should give a fuck. Which I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. The only issue with that is a whole bunch of people got to take a pen. And ironically, Triple H, Tony Khan seem to be averse to the wrestlers taking pins when they don't have to. Mm-hmm. I don't mind. I'd love it. Especially in this match. Who here can't afford to take a pen? Sit the fuck down somewhere. Lord.
Moxley may have like some of my favorite builds too. Favorite finishes of tap out finishes between this and the Allin finish. I love Jon Moxley desperately trying not to tap out and then eventually just being like, oh fuck, I'm a coward. Like he builds it up. He has this desperate like flailing that he does to try to get away. That's so good. It's all timer for me. I like the fact that they have basically made Jon Moxley pay for his sins, where he's basically jobbing and tapping out to everybody.
That'd be great. If we're done with all this, this was a solid come down the mountain from King Dictator to Coward. I like it a lot. Is it the end? I can't even be sure of that. I thought it was being the end 3 or 4 times at this point, and it hasn't been.
Yeah, this is true. If this is the end, then this was a great conclusion and stuff, but please let it be the end. I think that do you think they made a bad move by not doing, because of course this finish should logically lead to the Death Riders turning on Jon Moxley. Do you think that it was a wise decision to save that for another week, or they should have done it on this show?
No. You save it for another week. I don't need to see. Don't take it away from the moment of Kyle O'Reilly. Yeah, don't take away from the babyfaces winning, and you have something interesting next week or the week after that. I still don't like the idea of the Death Riders without Jon Moxley. I don't like the idea of the Death Riders with Jon Moxley. I still don't like it without him. Just have him leave, and then the group disbands. I don't understand. The logic of this. Pac is leading the Death Riders. They don't look like Pac. What are we doing?
I think either. Who do you think would lead the Death Riders if they turn on?
It's gotta be Pac at this point. Pac and Claudio.
Yeah. I was like, Claudio doesn't feel like it either, though. Like Claudio, it feels like Pac is the one who has at least a minor amount of chops that he can be on the mic and be the leader. And they have been sowing the seeds to that with the way that Pac has been kind of the thorn in the side of Darby Allin and being like the mercenary to take him out throughout this build to the Blood and Guts matchup. And it's the fact that all these people have connections to Jon Moxley where Pac really doesn't. Moxley brought in Marina Shafir. Moxley has been with Claudio in BCC and Death Riders. He brought in Willow. He brought in Daniel Garcia. Pac was basically about the shits. He was like, the Death Riders were like, we're gonna destroy AEW, and Pac was like, I'm down.
Gabe Kidd, that'd be interesting. I like Kidd as like an opportunist. He sees a vacuum. He's like, I'm just gonna take my shot here. He gives a rousing speech about how they shall follow him now.
What about Marina Shafir?
Stop it. What are we doing? Listen, if there was a way for her to stay Marina Shafir and lead the group, that could work. She's like China to Triple H, but eventually somebody's got to talk. And I don't see it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I said like Pac is the one that makes the most sense, where you don't have to change things up quite a lot. You can just shift things and everything will make sense if Pac is the leader coming out of this. But all it's going to lead to is Moxley going through all the Death Riders.
Yeah, and as you should. We're about to fucking...
Yes.
I can't believe you guys want to see these people stick around. I'm so confused.
People like Marina.
Nobody's even like funny like Solo is. That's all you're gonna get, by the way. It's fucking MFT. This is literally an MFT. We literally see what happens without Roman. Now we're gonna do it again. It's not that Moxley's Roman, but you get the point. Good Lord.
Nah, let's not do that. Not do any of that. But yes, we've made it to the end of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. Let us know in the comment section if you're watching us on demand or in the live chat. What was your match of the night? Your MVP, your LVP. What was your moment of the night? Did you give the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? Final call for super chat donations. If you want to show us some love in the chat in that way, you could do that as well. But for me and Jimmy, for the November 12th, 2025, AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts special in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Out of 10, what did you give last night's show, Jimmy?
I gave it an 8.5. No filler. I was here for this. Good stuff.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 for me. I think that this is the second best episode of the year, behind the Spring Breakthrough. Spring Breakthrough was the Osprey, Takeshita, Mercedes, Athena, and Ops dethrone Death Riders in the main event. That's like a perfect. That's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. That episode, but this one was a 9 out of 10. Like you said, no real filler. It was all about build to full gear. The 2 Blood and Guts, the Hangman Powerhouse Hobbs. That's pretty much the whole show, and that is when AEW is the most effective. When they focus on the in-ring, sprinkle a couple of angles in, you usually are going to find the perfect or the best AEW Dynamite episodes, and that was last night. Match of the night, Jimmy.
I'm going with the women's Blood and Guts. Part of me wants to give it to Hangman and Hobbs, but nah. Women's Blood and Guts was kind of perfect. Probably 2 or 4 too many wrestlers in it, but fuck it.
I love both Blood and Guts a lot. I felt like the men's was more focused on the overarching story of Jon Moxley quitting on the Death Riders again, and that element, where the women was more focused on the action and the chaos, and I think that worked to their benefit. So I'm going with the women's Blood and Guts for match of the night. MVP for the show, Jimmy.
I'm going with fucking Dax. I know everybody was bleeding. I know everybody was bumping. I know. But sometimes just yapping is fucking fantastic. You ever see those lists where they do like only players to score 30 points and 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and it's like Jordan, LeBron, and then some random cocksucker nobody's ever heard of? I have an all-time list. Dax might be on it. He is great at fucking everything. I'm sorry. Macho, Flair, Austin, Punk, Dax. I'm just goddamn. Dax is fucking great. I'm fucking sorry. Dax was fucking fantastic.
Oh, I love that. MVP for me, I gotta give an honorable mention to Sky Blue for that all-timer blade job. Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir for looking like beasts in the woman's Blood and Guts. But I'm gonna go MVP Kyle O'Reilly for the win at the end. And that finish, I love that finish. That might be my favorite Blood and Guts War Games finish that I've seen. LVP for the show.
That's interesting. I can't think of an LVP off the top of my fucking head. If you know what? Toni Schiavone. Why is she still here?
Why are you on commentary?
Here. What the fuck? God damn it. Worthless.
Steamboat. Sorry. It's really Steamboat. And moment of the night. I'll give it to damn, what was the best moment from the I'll give it to the Darby flaming table spot. What did you give it to?
I'm actually gonna give it to Hobbs's World Strongest Slams on apron, and then the fucking announce table, and then the step plot. This looked great. It's fantastic.
He looked great. He looked great in that matchup. Jesus, that was awesome. But yes, that brings us to the end of another edition of AEWramble. Want to thank you guys for joining us live. Thank you if you're watching us on demand. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new. Want to thank Jimmy for, of course, joining us to talk all about Blood and Guts. We'll be back next week where we'll be reviewing AEW Dynamite and Collision 3-hour special.
What?
The go home. The go home shows are now 3-hour specials, apparently. That's what we're doing now, apparently. So see you next Thursday for that. But in the meantime, between time, Jimmy, let the people know where they can follow you on social media.
On Twitter, at Jimmy Macram, where the world is healing itself slowly but surely. Very happy with things to come. Yes.
It's cryptic. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here. You can go and check out GOAT Match series over there. Me and Jimmy will be back with the latest episode where we'll be watching Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi from Ring of Honor 2005. So we're celebrating the 20 year anniversary of that match there. Go over to True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment as well, where we got additional content. We got True Picks dropping today with Chase and Stat King, but also check out True Hill Heat Check with myself and Kris G talking all about the NBA, a new season. We give our predictions for who we think is going to win the championship and a tier list of every single team for this upcoming for this current season that just started. So go and check that out. I'll be back with you guys on Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. We got a True Hill Heat clip dropping tomorrow, so enjoy that. But for Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble, episode 224, Fire and Blood. We are signing off until next time.